Hey everyone, I'm out. I'm out besides at a doctor's appointment or out in my chicken yard. It's a beautiful day. I think it's still morning, but I really can't tell you. If it is, it's close to being noon. I just took off my glasses because they're dirty. I'm gonna wipe them and put them back on before I get to driving, but I'm feeling much better as far as my stomach issue, so thank God for that. Still struggling with allergies. If you can't tell, my face is really swollen, my eyes, and it's just that time of year. I don't know if I told you that when I went to the doctor's on Thursday, she prescribed, and I forget the name of the medicine, but it's to help with the acid reflux. I've never had acid reflux before until last week, the middle of last week, and then all day Monday, and that's just how it went. And so she sent that prescription over to CVS, and I got it yesterday. All my days are mixed up, but I started taking it this morning. So the pharmacist said take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. It's most effective. He said the only side effect that people have complained about is diarrhea, but they have found that it hasn't happened to a lot of people too often, but he was just making me aware of that. And let's see, this morning I did have some coffee, and I have switched over to decaf coffee just to see if it will make a difference. I don't drink coffee for the caffeine anyway. I just drink it for the taste, and to me it's comforting to have a nice good hot cup of coffee or a nice iced coffee. It's comforting. I'm the same way with herbal teas, hot or cold. It's just comforting. It's not for the caffeine. In fact, a lot of the herbal teas I have are caffeine free anyway. And so far, no issues with my stomach. I got the results back yesterday through an email on my health panel of all the blood work. I'm telling you that my doctor's physician's assistant was so thorough. She was more thorough than my primary doctor is, which I appreciate. I think she checked me for everything. A car just pulled away, and I didn't even know anyone was in it. Anyway, when they emailed back the results of all the blood work, it was 3 pages. I knew she was checking the thyroid, sugar, metabolism. They were doing a whole panel and checking pancreas. I was aware of some, but she checked everything. And some of it I could read, through the email. I could understand it from working in the health field, and some I couldn't. But later on, the nurse called and said that everything was fine except my blood sugar was up, which was to be expected from being so sick, this past week, and not taking the diabetes medicine because I couldn't keep nothing down, and not eating and being dehydrated. So the blood sugar was expected to be up, but thank God that all of the other results are okay. So don't know what caused me to be so sick. Obviously something did, and maybe it just maybe it's gone out of my system, or it could just be that God has already healed whatever the issue was. I do go April 4th for ultrasound of my abdomen. Then I go April 5th to the cardiologist because I've been having a little bit of a heart issue for a few weeks, maybe a month. and this is when they could get me in. I won't be seeing my cardiologist because he's booked until July. But when I did call to make an appointment and I told the symptoms, they got a hold of my cardiologist, and he doesn't want me to wait until he can see me. He's sending me to this other one that he works with. And so, hey, God, let me tell you, I'm not one to worry and fret. I'm just not. I just have that peace of God, and I know that God already knows the results of any tests that I have to have. So sweet to trust in Jesus, like the song says. And that's just how I live. I do believe, that God gives us wisdom, and there's times that we ought to go get checked out, and I do that, but I don't run to the doctor just every time. But when I feel, a nudge, I guess you could say, from the Lord that I need to go get checked out, I go. And hey, the Bible says his ways are not our ways. And so it makes me to think back to Thursday when I went to the doctor. If I had not been as sick as I was Monday and Tuesday, that made me to feel like I needed to call a doctor and go down there Thursday to get checked out and have that blood work, I'll tell you again, if I hadn't had to go through that, I would not have been able to meet that very nice technician that drew my blood. I would not have been able to tell her how Jesus loves her and how he's gonna, work in the situations that she's going through. God sure could have chosen someone else and sent someone else down there to speak a word to her, but God allowed me. And to be able to do that, I had to get sick and needed to get to the doctor. So his ways are not our ways. And it's just wonderful to trust him all the time. Trust him. And what else? Oh, my little gosling. And so if you've seen the video I did about it, I was so upset doing that video, and it had to be short because I was starting to break down over it. I've been wiping its eye, around its eye, and I noticed its wing got a little pecked at. So I've been wiping that with warm water, and yesterday I applied some triple antibiotic ointment just around the eye, not even close to the eye, but around it and not in it. And I put some on its little wing. And I did that this morning. Of course, I've prayed over her. I've held her real close and prayed and asked God to heal her up and not let any infection. And my landlord came by yesterday, and I picked her up and showed the injury to him, and he felt like her eyeball is still there, but like her eye was just swollen, like if you get punched in the eye. Well, to me, I don't know. I could see a little black. You look at her good eye, she has a real pretty black eye, and I could see a little bit of black in the injured eye, like that would be her eyeball. But the morning that I saw it, a lot of fleshy stuff was hanging out, like muscles or tendons, and it's not that way anymore. I believe that keeping it as clean as I can has helped. Of course, the landlord, he prayed over her too. Hey, we just do that. Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered, and it also talks about if any of you two agree on earth touching things, hey, God hears the simplest prayer, even if it's for a little precious gosling. God hears it. God created that gosling, and he hears my prayer for her. And I appreciate that. And so I reached out to a group, Backyard Chickens group, that I've been a part of since I started my flock, but I've not been too active in it. But I did reach out there, and I asked, because people there have chickens and geese and ducks, and animals get injured. I was reading about someone's duck had got injured. It was just a baby, and it had got a piece of hay in its eye. Someone else posted that their little gosling was running in the yard and got up close to the fence and got poked in the eye by the fence. So I thought if I asked a question, I'd get some answers. And I did. I mean, people let me know that Tractor Supply has eye flush, or I think they called it a flush, eye flush. Maybe there's an eye salve. Anyway, it's for poultry. I mean, they did say that you can use the Neosporin, which I did. I just put it, like I said, around the eye. And I've been told by the vet for Monster before that I could put some Neosporin on her. So I guess it would be okay for a gosling. I mean, the gosling is not going to be able to lick it off around her eye. So I do plan on, Monday, when my Social Security check comes, I do plan on going over to Tractor Supply and finding out about that poultry eye flush or the salve. It has to be poultry is what I read from that backyard chicken group. But now her eye this morning, it's opened up. Now yesterday her eye was closed shut, and I opened it up just a little to check, and it didn't seem to distress her. But today her eye is not closed shut, and I don't see that fleshy mess sticking out like before. So maybe the landlord was right. Maybe it was just all swollen. I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep praying for her and treating her and loving her. And if she ends up with one eye, it's not gonna make no difference to me. I'm gonna love her. She still follows me around. Now, in the day, she's out in my yard, but I do have the gate to the chicken yard ajar in case she wants to go over there, because I want her to get used to the chickens. Now I'm not home, and so she's in my yard, and the chicken gate is locked with bungee cord. It is shut up. Like whenever I go out, I close that. But when I'm home, it's open ajar so she could go over there. My two barred rocks, they love my little gosling. They love to come over in my yard and lay next to her. And this morning, one of my barred rocks was laying down in my yard, and the little gosling was laying next to it. And I tried to take a picture, and as soon as my gosling saw me, it got up and started walking over towards me. But I'm so proud of my barred rocks that they have... they're looking out for that little gosling. My two barred rocks are my only two hens that I have left from 5 years ago when I started out with chickens. Bless their heart. It's Lady Jane and the other one. And so I believe it's all going to work out. Now, at night, I put my little gosling in that clear storage tote with some hay and some grass and food and fresh water in it, and I put the gosling in it, and I put that screen over it with two well, you could call them bricks, even though that they're round, to hold that screen down. Just, I've showed videos before when the baby chicks have gone in there, and that's where I put her, so that she's in the coop, because, well, he needs to be in the coop, but is protected from the silky rooster, who I wasn't there when it happened, but I believe that it was him. He does not roost. He loves to be on the floor sleeping, and he probably was upset that the gosling was on the floor, and I feel terrible about it. And if I start talking about that, it bothers me because I feel 100 pounds of guilt. But this is what I'll do until it's time to let that gosling, be out of that little storage tote at night. Sorry about my voice, but my throat is itchy. A lot of pollen, and we so desperately need rain. We need a really good pouring down rain, but not floods. And, let me say, you may want to check out my community tab for a little nugget. So make sure you check that out. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but today is the day, April 1st. Hint, hint. I'm not sure when I'll get around to it because this morning I deep cleaned my bedroom. I have a very small bedroom and I still need a twin bed. I have a full-size bed that I got secondhand, but I'm thankful for it because, believe it or not, before I got this secondhand full-size bed, I was sleeping on the floor, which I'm not proud to do. The only problem is I have a real hard time getting up off the floor because of my spinal cord. So I do have the this secondhand full-size bed, which I've had about 9 or 10 years, and it was used before me. But it didn't just come from anywhere. It came from somebody. My landlord's mother knew someone, and so anyway, what I'm trying to say is because my bedroom is so small, remember I live in a travel trailer, that one side of the bed is up against a wall, and then I have just a little path between the bed and my bedroom window, but in front of my bedroom window is my bureau, which makes my path even smaller, which is fine. The reason why I say I need a twin bed is because it's just getting harder and harder for me to change my bedding, especially since I've had this shoulder surgery twice, and also because of the spinal cord. It is hard for me to pull out that bed away from that wall and scoot over there, and you know how it is. Plus a twin bed would give me more room. So help me pray that God helps me to find one, on Facebook Marketplace, or someone that I know has one, or someone I know knows someone. I mean, hey, I just feel like God is hiding me the perfect twin-size bed for right now. That's the way I'm looking at it. He knows our needs. I'm telling you. I just can't help talking about God because He is my everything. And He's just done so much for me. I'm not ashamed. I am not ashamed. So anyway, I was deep cleaning the bedroom. I used to wash the walls in my trailer. I'm talking about get me a bucket with some nice hot water and put in some nice spick and span and get on gloves and get a good cloth, and I would go to town washing the walls. I do my floors by hand. I don't do the bedroom floor by hand because I can't get under the bed, but my kitchen and bathroom by hand. It's the only way to get in the corners. But I cannot wash walls like that anymore. So what I do is I have a Swiffer, and I put those wet cloths, on the Swiffer, and I just go up and down the walls like that. And I feel like it cleans it good enough. I'm not a smoker. I don't have any friends that smoke or come, to my house smoking. So it's just, what would be on my walls would just be some dust. So I think that the wet Swiffer pads work fine since I can't be washing walls like I used to. But I did that this morning, changed my bedding. I cleaned off my bureau. Just your cleaning, but your deep cleaning. I went through my bureau drawers to see if there was anything that I didn't need anymore, that didn't fit, and refolded things. And what else? I worked a lot in the bedroom, even though it's a small space. Let me tell you, when you're down sick for days and you can't keep up with things and you're in a small space, it don't take too long before things pile up and the place looks cluttered. Not dirty, but cluttered and messy, and I don't like that. And so that had to be done. And then I started in another area of the trailer. And so it may be the evening or tonight, by the time I get around for the April 1st thing, that I'll be posting about on my community tab. So you're not going to want to miss. Something else. Tomorrow is my Sunday to teach Sunday school, so I hope I have a voice. I'm sure the kids won't mind if I don't. But if I don't, they won't get away without a Sunday school class, because we have other teachers that will step in. But I do enjoy teaching Sunday school. I'm thankful that God has opened that door for me, and that I've been doing it for as long as I have been. Over 30 years teaching Sunday school, and I've taught every age. And it is fun. And so tomorrow is my Sunday to teach Sunday school. And I pray for North Little Rock, Arkansas, and Mississippi, and wherever else tornadoes have touched down. May God have mercy and send help and all that. In fact, I'm not sure when that tornado hit down in North Little Rock, or when it... Did you see that raven? If my window wasn't up, that bird would have come in here. I probably would have taken it home. I'm not sure when those tornadoes hit. It has just come up on my phone yesterday and then today. So, but let's see. Today's Saturday. Thursday, my pastor actually drove to North Little Rock to he had something to do over there. I'm not sure if it was with church or something else. But he was over there, and then he left there yesterday morning to drive over to Mississippi for yesterday and then today for a church event, a men's conference over there. And he'll be coming back from Mississippi sometime today, because we got church tomorrow, Pastor, and we need you. And so I believe that he was out of North Little Rock by the time that happened. But may God just have mercy on all that were affected by that. This is the tornado season. And what else? Today is no crochet class because, well, Kristen had some family come in this week, and so she let me know last Saturday she wouldn't be able to have a crochet class today. But even if she was going to be able to, I would not have it, because, like I say, there's things in the trailer I need to catch up with, and I need to save some strength. And so I just wouldn't really be up to that today. But I will get some crocheting done today on my own. I need to, and I want to. Yesterday, somebody from church surprised me, and they came by with some sugar-free vitamin water, and that has been just wonderful. I'm so thankful for God's people, and so thankful to be a part of the family of God. There's a SUV just stopped in front of me. I thought the lady was trying to get out of this parking lot, but I think she's on her phone. 24 minutes. Well, I better go. I think my phone shuts off at 25. I can't believe how did this time go by so fast? Well, I felt like calling you up, and I'm glad that you answered. Now, have a good day, and remember, be kind to everybody because somebody's having a bad day. I'll talk to you later. Later tonight, I'll be posting.